Wait, okay, here we go. All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, good day, and above all, I welcome you all to the new Down to Hangout FM, the podcast where you can hang out. I'm your host, Dante Harvey, aka Fable. So, along with me are my crew members, Malik. How you been, bro?
Doing good, man. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm here. I'm ready to go, ready to talk about these most anticipated movies of the summer, and I can't wait to get it on.
I do appreciate you being here. Well, I took your advice on some acting classes. Um, yeah, I took some your advice on it because I'm doing a performance for a project of mine in my English classes. They're doing Romeo and Juliet, and I
Okay.
remember last year I asked you about some acting. Yeah, and took it, and everybody said I did pretty well. It's just for a school project, ain't like this. I'm actually what you call it, auditioning or anything like that.
That's good
But
then.
thank you for that advice.
No problem.
And the Red Ranger himself, how you doing, bro? How you doing?
I've been all right, man. I've been basically stuck on Jedi Survivor. It's taken over my life for the past couple of days, and probably gonna hop back on right after the stream.
I was just about to ask you
Oh,
that question. How's that game so far? I've been hearing great things about it. Great things.
So it's good, and I hear that PC port is garbage though. I hear that it's got a lot
yeah.
of bugs. I got it on PlayStation, so the most that I've had is like some frame rate drops and maybe some slight pop in, but nothing really major, no crashes or anything like that.
Mm.
So I'm loving the game so far.
Okay, for
Does
sure,
it
for
does
sure.
it, does it start
Cool.
off better than how's the start off compared to the
Okay,
first
cool.
Fallen Order?
So the start has more action than the first one. It's kind of long before you get to go back to the ship, but it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say overall it's better so far.
Man, I can't wait to get my hands on that too.
I just had to get it day one.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm still.
Y-
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the only Star Wars thing I've been looking forward to, really.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about
yeah, man.
Mandalorian season 3.
I don't even want to get started on that. Let's not say.
Man, I haven't finished it, but when I saw Lizzo and Jack Black, I said they do not fit in this. I'm not saying because I don't care about the interracial part. It's just she was not a good actress. That's my complaint about it.
Yeah, no, I just as for the Lizzo thing, I don't think they belong in the series. Bill
Okay.
Burr was a stretch, but he actually did
He actually
well
did
acting.
phenomenal. That was actually pretty
I was
outstanding. Bill
surprised too
Burr.
because he's a
Yeah, I was
comedian.
surprised. I was really surprised because most of Bill Burr's stuff is him being him in most stuff, but that I was like, damn, like Bill Burr, like you went in your acting bag with that one, especially when he's talking to that officer right in front of him, and you can
Uh,
actually see him getting really emotional. I was like, oh damn. But yeah, Bill Burr, yeah, he surprised me with that episode.
yeah, but I mean, now they're just basically throwing anything to see what's popular now. I
Yeah,
don't like the Lizzo thing. I don't like how they're kind of replacing the main character with the
Bo-Katan,
female Mandalorian. Yeah, her. I think she was on the animated series as well. The
the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Clone Wars show. I think she was there for a couple
Yeah, the
episodes,
Clone
but
Wars, and I think yeah,
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 but
but I think she's a
they're
fan favorite.
shifting the focus to her, and I
yeah,
don't like that because that's not what I'm watching the show for.
yeah. He's kind of getting sidelined,
In his own show too.
Yeah, I think they messed
but
up
yeah,
bringing
that's
back
what has happened.
when they brought back Grogu. I think they kind of messed up because I think they didn't really have anything to sell the show off of
Yeah,
other than that, and they thought that like even Grogu he when he was in season 1 and season 2 he had a purpose. Now even like we was talking like the Jack Black episode, it just seems like he's just there to eat, um, and then be there and just be cute pretty much. And yeah, I think them bringing back Grogu was a big mistake for the franchise because you don't really like you said with Bo-Katan, you don't really see him in his own stuff, and him getting rid of Grogu was supposed to be him accepting that he's not there anymore. So
Yeah,
and
that was
then
the end of a journey right there.
yeah, and it kind of and then you kind of downplay I think that's what Disney's been doing a lot with
Yeah.
Star Wars lately. They're kind of like downplaying, not making anything make sense with the whole Ray Palpatine thing with the.
That was just a huge mess, man. I don't
Yeah,
even count those as the actual Star Wars,
yeah.
the
I was
Disney
like,
sequels.
what
I'm
is
not even
They
a
don't
Star
happening?
Wars fan
exist.
like that, and I looked at that. I was like, that is fucking dumb. That was really foolish. Um, but I mean, that's what happens when you don't really. I mean, sometimes listening to the fans is wrong. Hint, Snyder fans. But sometimes the fans can say something right, but you guys were wrong on this one. I think y'all could have. I think this is the main problem with Star Wars. They're afraid to do new stuff. I think that's the main problem. They're afraid to do new stuff. They're afraid to go into the past. They're the what is it, the not the Old Republic. They're afraid to do stuff from there. They're just consistent in staying in this Skywalker saga that's allegedly was done. But then, like, not even 2 years later, we were already talking about another trilogy with Rey.
Yeah.
But supposedly the Skywalker saga is over. So I think that's the main problem. They're afraid to do something different. I mean, Andor is an exception, but yeah, I think they're just afraid to do something different.
I haven't seen
I
it. I
think
have to
it's time
see
for
it.
them to just reboot for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
or just
erase
do
all the Disney stuff.
yeah, just erase all the Disney stuff and just do new stuff. Go to the past, like go like before Order 66. Do like some new other
No, 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 no,
what.
no. Still, Star Wars has to keep. Oh, but go ahead, Malik. Finish. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, even you go to the past, like I said, go do some Old Republic stuff. Like do some like you can do some Mandalorian stuff when Mandalore is still intact. You can do stuff like it's a big universe. You guys got comic books off this stuff too as well. You can um you can probably do a Darth Vader series. I'm pretty sure people will eat that up. And even Darth Raven. I think Darth Raven is another fan favorite. When it comes to the Sith, you can do stuff even in the future and create other stuff. You can build on top of the Star Wars brand, but you build around, create new properties and new stuff, so you can keep everything new and fresh. And I think that's the problem with Star Wars. They don't want to do that. They want to stay in the realm of Skywalker because it worked. Because it worked previously, but now it's not working. But they wanna put that. They trying to push a what's that saying? They were trying to make a square fit into a circle. It's just not gonna work.
And it's the yeah, and they're playing on nostalgia keep.
Yeah,
I don't know what it. I feel like Star Wars should. We won't be talking Star Wars for long, but I just do have to say this. I feel like they don't reboot anything. Keep everything the same. Don't. I feel like if anything, Star Wars doesn't need to be rebooted. I feel like, well, a lot. I feel like I wish DC didn't reboot things, but they're going to eventually. So I hope the MCU does reboot things. Just keep things as a steady flow, and just go forward. Just like everybody dips, and we got to pick ourselves back up. Unless a movie's just like to the point it's like the last Airbender bad, but I don't think Star Wars, DC, or Marvel is ever gonna go through that. I don't know why I'm looking over here. Because I have a big computer, so I'm doing my cameras right here. So yeah, but one thing I do suggest before we move on from the Star Wars topic is that I still feel like the should take a break from Call of Duty, and I feel like the companies that do Call of Duty should do a Star Wars first person shooter game. That is my suggestion. Uh,
I agree.
that
That'd be dope.
I feel like that would be. I feel like
Yeah, I
that'd be
think
an
that'd be
amazing game.
dope.
Next week, I'm not too sure what we're gonna talk about because there's nothing coming out. Uh, yeah, there's nothing coming out. And then Thursday, and yeah, so this coming Thursday, we're talking about X-Men, because it's the 20th
X2.
anniversary for that. X2, which is
Oh,
underrated movie. People don't talk about that more. I'm surprised.
also today is the 15th anniversary of Iron Man.
The first one.
Yeah,
Would you,
Wow.
today
would
the anniversary.
we're okay.
I can't. I damn. Now I'm old.
Right. Well, we're having some technical difficulties. Our host will be back in a few minutes.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, we can just continue talking about the Star Wars thing. I didn't get your viewpoint on it.
Okay. Well, some rumors were that they were going to use. Have you seen the Rebels series?
I have seen no. That's Bad Batch. Excuse me. That's Bad Batch.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because on Rebels, there's this area called the Veil of the Force where you can go use the Force to go into other parts of time, other spaces in time. So they were thinking of. There's a rumor that they're thinking of erasing the whole Disney sequels and everything by making those like some alternate universe that never really happened. And I
Okay.
think that would have been the best plan because they literally had a blueprint of what they could do after the episode 6 with the comics that what's her name, Kathleen, didn't want to accept as
Okay.
canon. Yeah, because
Yeah.
there was a story actually about Star Wars where Luke actually goes to rebuild the Jedi Order, but he travels back to the planet from the Clone Wars where you had the son and the daughter. I don't know if you remember that episode where the
Nah.
son was the dark side of the Force and the daughter was the light side, and then the father had to keep them in check.
No, I don't remember that. That doesn't seem familiar to me. It's from Clone Wars, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
got Disney Plus, so I can probably catch up on that. There.
All right. Well, the premise of the comic story is that Luke tries to discover what the origin of the Force is, and to keep it in check, he has to have Sith and Jedi both keeping their side in check without going too overpowered to the other side.
Okay, so I'm kind of like new to Star Wars, so I'm just saying, can you? Because I heard there's different factions. Like you have the Jedi, obviously, then you
Hmm.
have the Sith, but then there's
Uh-huh.
like obviously a gray area, like the gray Jedi's. Or is that like you can tap into both light and dark, and you can use like force lightning or something like that?
The Gray Jedi's is mostly for basically it's the people that do what needs to get done, even if it's horrible. You know.
Okay, so they're like Jason Todd or some shit, or like
Yeah,
Deadpool.
yeah,
Oh,
Jason Todd, pretty
okay.
much.
Tonight we're talking about our most anticipated movies in 23. Tonight would be a perfect way of us talking about what are our most anticipated movies of the year, about our most honorable mentions. We're just gonna list those off quickly. We're not gonna say why. We're just gonna list those off, and then after that, we're gonna list our 6, 5, and 4, and then we'll go around the room. Next round, we'll go 3, 2, and name our number one and most anticipated movies. I'm gonna go first. So I'm gonna list off my honorable mentions. So let's go. I know this. Finally, Transformers: Rise of the Beast,
Okay.
Fast X, Extraction 2, Insidious, The Red Door, Who Cloned Tyrone? That's a Netflix special. And to the first Extraction, which is really good. Elemental. This used to be a time where I used to be really look forward to Pixar movies, but now it's kind of like Pixar movies are kind of like the last good one was Soul, really good one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So was good.
Oppenheimer, um, and Meg 2. Those are my most anticipated
Oh, they're
movies.
making a Meg too already.
I'm honorable.
It's coming out this year.
They're
Yeah.
making a. I'm looking forward to it.
Damn, that
Yeah,
was
we'll review
quick.
it too. Like I said, we're going to review new up and coming releases movies. Before I always like the concept of the Blue Beetle, and yes, I'm looking forward. That's my number 6 movie of the year, and I'm also I'm if one of the things I'm looking forward to is how it if it goes into that new DCU movies, the new DCU, because I know they're rebooting. So, and number 5, I know y'all gonna be like, what is Barbie?
Oh no,
Uh,
that's not bad. That's
I
not bad.
I never played. I never played with Barbies. I did have one,
Hey,
but it was like a McDonald's one. It's from Toy Story 2. That's the closest thing I had to a Barbie. Um, the trailer did make me laugh, but that part where Ryan Gosling was
Ryan
like,
Gosling.
Brian Gosling.
because like why? You see why that's. I thought that was funny because I feel like that's me trying to flirt with a girl. Um, I don't know what this movie's gonna be. It could be the worst movie of the year. It could be the worst movie of all time. it's gonna be kind of hard to beat Last Airbender though. But Barbie, it's not my it's not my in my demographic, but I'm looking forward to it. We'll review it. I'm just curious to see who's gonna review it for me. It's because like I said, it could be meta, it could be goofy, it could be bad, it could be the greatest movie of the summer. But I'm really looking forward to that. And just the whole aesthetic of it. And it has a because for the longest Barbies were just it was all white Barbies. But now they
Yeah.
got other races for as Barbies. And so yes, that's why I'm be. So yeah. And number four, Turtles.
Oh,
It was
Ninja
that
Turtles.
Yeah.
that that edgy one. That's what I grew up on. I didn't grow up
Okay.
on the '80s one, but the animation, it's like the same animation studio that does Spider Verse movies, and I was like, wow, all the celebrities or the actors that's gonna be like Paul Rudd, Ice Cube, what's his name? Oh, from Breaking Bad. He's gonna be not Bryan Cranston, Mr. the Chicken Man, the Chicken Man. I don't know why. Oh
Hmm.
shoot, I'm forgetting his name. He always
Are
plays
you
the bad
talking
guy
about
in movies. But anyway,
Gabriel?
Paul Rudd. There's so many voices. So all right, Red,
All right.
your
Well,
honorable mention
my turn. So my honorable
and
mentions
your
and 654. All right. So my honorable mentions. One of them actually already came out. It's called Shisu. It's about
Ooh,
yeah, it's by the same people that made John Wick. I don't think I have to say anything else. That probably sells itself.
right.
So I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Another honorable mention. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. See, the first one was all right, but I prefer Peter Parker. I don't really like Miles Morales that much, so I'm not really as excited as I should be for it. Um, yeah, moving on. The next honorable mention is Insidious: The Red Door. Now, see, I'm starving for a good horror movie that doesn't just hide everything in the shadows, and the Insidious has been all right.
wow.
Yeah, Insidious has been all right so far, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it like a honorable mention at least. Elemental, like Pixar, was one of my favorite studios, but now it's like 50-50
Yeah.
with every other movie. So I kind of want to see it, but I don't know what they're gonna do, so I'm not even gonna grace that one with a number. And my last honorable mention is The Machine. It's from a comedian who has a stand up story about how he got involved with the Russian mob on vacation in a school trip, and the movie is the Russian mob comes back to try and takes because he stole something from a Russian gang leader or something like that. It looks hilarious because the guy's a comedian and it looks funny. Now my number six is Blue Beetle. Now Blue Beetle, I like the character. I'm a little iffy about it when they dissed Batman in the trailer, but and also because they're going to be rebooting the DC universe as well, so I don't know if it's going to translate, but I do want to watch Blue Beetle. I'm interested in it. My number five is Guardians 3. I like Chris Pratt. He's pretty cool, and the Guardians movies have been uh one of the few good things that Marvel still has, like a consistently good series. So, and it looks like this is gonna be their last one
Yeah.
because they said it. I think like three times in the trailer how it's gonna be their last ride or something like that. So I want to see how the story ends. And my number four is Oppenheimer. Actually, I know that movie is gonna be slow.
Oh,
It's gonna have a lot of talking, but it's about how they made the first
the
atomic
first
bomb.
Hydra,
So
the
I
bomb.
really want to see that.
Oh, that's gonna be dope. I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah, because I saw the trailer for it. I was like, oh wow, this
the
looks
trailer's
really
cool.
good.
And actually, I was going to the movies and there's a billboard that has a countdown till that movie comes out.
Oh, that's that's actually kind of dope. That's actually they put thought into that. Okay.
That is good advertising right there. Whoever
Yeah,
did
it's
that
cool. That's
deserves a
cool
raise.
marketing.
Yeah, so those are my honorable mentions and 654. Malik.
All right. Uh, I think ours is you, Dante. You said ours is going to be a little bit similar. Ours is actually turning out to be a little bit different. You know. honorable mentions. TMNT. Uh, Another one is you guys probably know about this one, but if you're a fan of DreamWorks, Chicken Run 2. Uh, what else? And then
Oh, that
obviously
comes out in the
Barbie.
summer.
Yep. Uh, Next is Wonka with Timothée Chalamet. And honorable mentions, I guess I put in honorable mentions because it's already out. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Uh, Enough said about that. It's a beautiful franchise, and I can't wait to see how this Guardian story is. Now, with 6 is Elemental. Like Red said, Disney is a hit or miss nowadays, and I miss the days where everything that Disney put out was a hit after a hit after a hit. Like I said previously, like the podcast a long time ago, Meet the Robinsons is one of my favorite Disney movies out there. Treasure Planet. I really love Treasure Planet. I'm surprised they haven't done a live action Treasure Planet on how good that movie looks and how good it will look in live action. Um, yeah, Disney, uh, they need this one because yeah, Soul came out during the pandemic, so it didn't really do well for them. And they had these off-brand these live action adaptations that really don't work for them. Like Peter Pan and Wendy, I heard that didn't do that well. Mulan definitely didn't do well for me because I'm a big fan of Mulan. Also, another Disney classic. Um, yeah, they're just making soulless live action and they don't have that same magic. So I think Elemental will be make and break for them when it comes in the animation realm. Because DreamWorks, like I said, Chicken Run is coming out, and Puss in Boots. People made memes. People loved it. People made videos on how Death was the best villain in animation history. So uh, Disney got some catching up to do, but I think Elemental will be the start for it. My number 5 is Blue Beetle. Now, me and Dante may disagree on this, but I do feel if Blue Beetle could be their version of not Miles Morales, but of Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I think the character has a little bit of has that advantage because it's the same tropes. High school kid gets powers, the same tropes that young superheroes get. Um, it's kind of low on my list compared to the other superhero movies or some action superhero movies because I don't like the way the movie was shot. It does have a Miss Marvel kind of feel to it. It does feel a little bit cheap. I did think they was going to go that high school route, but it seems like he's already in college, like a freshman, because he's going out getting a job. So they don't play to that high because I was expecting Blue Beetle meeting Spider-Man Homecoming. I was expecting that kind of feel, and I wish they did go with that route. But they got George Lopez in there. They got the goat in there, so this gonna put asses in seats for sure. Yeah, Blue Beetle's my 5th, and now 4th could be a controversial one, but it is The Flash. Um,
Mm.
Now, I do not condone what that man has done, or they has done, excuse me. Um, I don't condone people going to Hawaii and causing havoc. I don't condone people making people eat bullets. I just don't do it. But since we're just talking about movies, and I think The Flash could possibly have a chance to be top 5 superhero movie. You got Keaton back.
Highly doubt.
You have 2 different versions of the Flash. You have a little bit of Ben Affleck in there, so you have the elements of the Snyderverse still in this movie. So I think that's gonna help them a little bit. I don't think it's gonna help them a lot, but I think the Snyder stuff is gonna help this movie. And we still don't have a clue on who the villain is. It could be Reverse Flash. It could be a dark version of Barry Allen. It could be what's that villain's name? It's blanking out on me. But yeah, it's blanking out on me. But I'll get back to that.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Flash does has an opportunity to be top five superhero film. They have to. I don't know how they're going
Oh, you talking
to.
about Zoom?
No, it's the it's the remember in the Flash and Zoom gets taken away um by these demons and he becomes a different version of Flash. I forgot what it's called. Is it Black Flash or is something like that? But it's a version of Zoom. Well, how they did it in the Flash TV series. Well, yeah, that's my fourth, The Flash. It's a controversial one, but like I said, I don't condone what they did. But we're just talking about movies right now.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to press X to doubt on that one.
Yeah,
I don't like all the recastings that they did. Henry
with who?
Cavill was a near perfect Superman,
Oh, yeah.
and
I
he's
mean,
out.
I don't
Wonder
condone what
Woman's gone too, I think.
I don't like what James Gunn does. I don't like how he took Henry Cavill out, but he kept his stuff in. Like I don't think it's not a reboot. It's it's a you hit a fresh start, but you kept everything. You're supposed to be hitting a fresh start, but you say, hey, y'all can come though. It's just like it's kind of like you kind of like cheapen the reboot, the whole point of a reboot, So yeah, I agree with you there. They could have kept
Mhm.
Henry Cavill, but I do like the guy they've been fan casting him because he looks just like Christopher Reeves. He looks exactly like the old Superman, and I do like that guy. He looks the part. So I mean, if he plays Superman right, people are gonna fall for him anyway. They're gonna forget all about Henry Cavill. So you know.
I don't know about that, but I mean, right now I think they have the girl Superman.
I mean, I think, I yeah, I don't like how they. I mean, they didn't. This point, this movie's supposed to be Flashpoint, but none of it is
It
really
might change at
Flashpoint.
the end of the movie, but anyway, one thing DC could do to make money, uh, a couple of years ago they had one where Superman was evil. I think it was called Brightburn or something like that.
Yeah,
Where yeah, where his mission was actually to take over the world,
Oh yeah.
and he ends up becoming an evil version of Superman. I do think, and at the end they tease the like Amazon Wonder Woman cutting off people's heads and Aquaman being a fish monster that attacks people who come into the sea. I think they should look into that.
I would say one
I don't
thing.
know,
I
man.
wouldn't give
I know
Zack Snyder
DC gets
fan.
dark, but I don't know. That sounds like some Elseworlds.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
like Elseworld. I mean,
yeah, but I mean
I'm a
it's
big
a
fan.
new spin on it, and I think they could make money off of that.
they can make any movie a part of Elseworld, because the Michael Keaton, even in his that Flash movie, I was like, I don't really want him back as Batman anymore. Like, I want him as Batman, but I just want him as Bruce. Well, I don't want him as Batman. I want him as Bruce Wayne, and I want him to be in Batman Beyond. I wanted him to be the Bruce Wayne of Batman Beyond. I really wanted a Batman Beyond film, and I think I got kind of cheated out of that a little bit, but it is what it is.
Uh, we'll get an animated Batman Beyond, maybe.
Yeah, that
I
could be a thing.
I prefer that actually because DC the hit in video games.
Oh
All
no.
right, all right. Malik, you want
Oh, that was my
Yeah,
fourth. The Flash. Yeah, that was my fourth.
you said fourth, your
Yeah, I
fourth
already
one?
talked about my fourth.
Okay, for sure. That's that. Okay. I didn't put the Flash on my on my
Honorable
honorable mentions.
mentions.
That's crazy. Um,
Mm.
I'm sorry, I was speeding through it when I was making this. No pun intended. So that's the end of the first round, and so back to me. Number three for us mine is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Mm.
I really like Indiana Jones. Personally, believe I like Uncharted better than The Last of Us. I don't think Uncharted is better than The Last of Us, but I just like it. I like it better. I favor it. I like fun things, and Indiana Jones is a very fun franchise. I even like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, maybe because I saw it when I was 12. That's why I like it, and I was growing up and
Mm.
everything about it. But I'm really curious to see how this one ends. Jack Nicholson as a villain, which is really good. I like him as an actor. Um, you know, what was it? They have the director James Mangold, who's a great director. He directed Logan, which was to me, in my opinion, again, is the best of all time. Not the best, not the best outside MCU movie, or not just the best X-Men movie. Is the best Marvel movie of all time. That's even above Endgame. Number two of mine, which I think is one of the best, probably the second best franchises of all time, uh, is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I love the Mission Impossible movies. I love one. The one I don't like is the second one, but all of them are great. The first one, third one, fourth, all of them. I lost count on this point. I don't know if this is eight or seven, but this is really good. Tom Cruise doing his crazy stunts again. It's like he's flying off a cliff and things like that. What was and the train goes off a cliff. So I said, man, this one's crazy. I really want to see this one. My number one is Spider-Man Across the Spider. I
Mm.
really enjoyed the first Spider-Man. Like when Miles Morales was introduced, I didn't really like favorite him, but getting being seen a black Spider-Man is cool. I still Peter Parker is still the best Spider-Man and the number one Spider-Man in my eyes. I
Agreed.
not
Yep.
they're not just introducing no, not introducing, but reintroducing they're not just reintroducing Miles, Miles, Gwen, and Peter B. Parker back, but they're introducing so many other Spider-Mans. They got Spider Woman, and I don't know if it's the Jessica Drew one because Jessica Drew is not the OG Spider.
Nah, it's not her. It's
She's
not.
the most popular one.
Yeah, she's the popular one, but she's
Uh,
not. It's not that one.
there's a black. Okay, Spider Woman, which is cool. She's black. That Spider Punk, who's voiced by Daniel Kaluuya, and Spider Woman is voiced by Issa Rae. And then they have Malik, Michael, because y'all would have been good friends.
Come
Michael
on,
liked
say
the
it.
2099 suit. I don't know.
The suit looks good
That
here,
they
man.
have
It looks
what you call
good
it.
here.
I mean, it does look good, but I was just saying that's not my favorite suit. A lot of people like that suit. I was like, I like the Scarlet Spider suit. That's my favorite suit. And they're
You
gonna
talking
have
about that
the
raggedy
Scarlet Spider in
T-shirt
here,
on?
and
That
it's
raggedy
room.
hoodie with cuts?
Yep. The raggedy
It's
T-shirt
a
with a hoodie.
It's so 90s. That's
it's a hoodie, and I love the simplicity of it. That's why I like it so much.
Yeah. So my top three are actually all action movies, really. So my number three is Equalizer 3, ironically, because the Equalizer franchise was pretty good so far. The I want to see if they can keep the good streak going and finish it off with a bang. Plus, Denzel's a good actor, so I want to watch that one. Expendables 4 for my number two, because I'm basically watching it out of respect since I grew up with Sylvester Stallone and all those 90s actors like Jason Statham and all the other ones that they have. I think Jet Li's there again or not.
Oh, damn.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure, but
Oh,
I but just as a sign of respect for the action heroes of my time, I want to watch that movie. I'm gonna see it probably day one, just because. And my number one movie is Mission Impossible. I mean, I don't know how they keep doing good Mission Impossible movies, but they
yeah.
just keep doing it. He hasn't missed at all, and this is what the eighth one, eighth, ninth. one?
It could be the ninth. Yeah, I think it's the ninth one because I think Fallout was eighth.
Yeah, and it's a two-parter, so I don't really like cliffhangers, but I'm willing to give this one a shot since yeah, despite the cliffhanger, I don't know if this is where they're gonna end it off with these last two Mission Impossible movies, but if they do, and they're both awesome, that's one of the few franchises that was good from start to finish. So those are my most anticipated movies of 2023.
All right. I'm gonna start off with my third Transformers, Rise of the Beast. Um, I grew up with not the old,
For sure.
not
All
the
right, man.
Transformers from the '80s. I didn't grow up with those Transformers. I grew up with the Michael Bay Transformers with Shia LaBeouf as Sam Witwicky. Uh, I grew up with that version of Transformers, and I loved every movie. I didn't really like the ones with Mark Wahlberg that much, but uh, the action was still good enough
Me
for me
either.
to
No one
keep.
did. No one did.
I mean, but the action, I'm just talking about from an action standpoint. The action was still good enough for me to keep and be involved. Um, but whew, Bumblebee, jeez, Bumblebee really brought me back to really liking the Transformers characters again. And even though you don't get to see Optimus that much, that beginning scene of Bumblebee was probably the most Transformers thing you would ever get besides this movie. It was really done well, and I really enjoyed. I forgot who was voicing Bumblebee in that movie. There we go, Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien played voice Bumblebee. Yeah, Dylan O'Brien, for the little points that he was voicing Bumblebee, he really captured the voice of Bumblebee. He really played it really well. So Transformers is my third. Two, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part One. Um, like you guys said, I never seen a franchise get better over time. My first Mission Impossible movie was Fallout. It was like that was like my first time watching Mission Impossible. I was like, damn, this is really good. Let me watch the other movies. And obviously I watched them all up to Fallout, and I watched Fallout again. And I was like, wow, it's crazy how every movie got good. Like over better over time. It kind of like has that Marvel MCU effect. Okay, Iron Man, that was good. Okay, Captain America, that was all right. That was decent. And then it just goes on, and you move up to Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's like, wow, that was way different than the Winter Soldier. So Mission Impossible has done it over and over again. Fallout was the first time me watching Mission Impossible. Uh, Liked it. I see why Henry Cavill didn't want to cut his mustache because he bodied that role. He played a very convincing villain. He had that Witcher look to him, but he didn't have the white hair or the mustache. He was really one of those villains that stood out to me in the Mission Impossible franchise. Uh, and I can't wait to see what the mission. I haven't seen the villain much. I don't know, think they shown him yet, but whoever the villain, I think they got a little bit of work to do because Henry Cavill was like S tier Mission Impossible villain. So yeah, Mission Impossible is my number two, and my number one, I guess it's pretty obvious at this point. Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse. You guys, I mean, well, Dante said it all already. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, he's back with the gang. Um, but there's new people. Spider Woman, another Spider Woman, and then Oscar Isaac as Spider Man 2099, and it's just another multiverse adventure where Spider Man is just where Miles is just trying to be him, and just going to different galaxies and different universes, and still trying to maintain a teenage boy lifestyle. And trying to save people, and they point that out throughout those trailers that you can't save everybody, even though you try. And like Peter B. Parker said, like, man, if Uncle Ben didn't die, most of us wouldn't be here. So it takes a sacrifice, and but that's the beauty of Miles. He doesn't want to do things. Eric, he doesn't want to do the things other people's way. He wants to be his own hero, and if he wants to save, if he feels that he can save everybody, uh, he will try his best, and that's really what they showcase that not just here in the Spider Verse franchise. Um, they showcase it in the video game Miles Morales. They 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 did it in the Ultimate Spider-Man. Even though we can talk about how trash that is, yeah, every when they showcase Miles, they always portraying that part. I want to be my own Spider-Man. So I I understand you want to be your own man. So I think uh Miles Morales is he's gonna get his opportunity, but I don't think it's gonna end well for this. I don't think it's gonna end well for Miles in this movie, but we would just have to see. And yeah, that's my number one, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
So you guys both had the same number one, and I had that one as an honorable mention.
Yeah,
Man, shows the different priorities there, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean,
Dang.
but your number one wasn't that bad
Guess
either. Your number one was my number two, so that wasn't that far off.
yeah. I'm gonna say something controversial. My the Spider-Man the video game better than the Spider-Man PS4 game. I do like that.
What?
Well, I can't. Wait, you let me get this right. You said Miles Morales, the game is better than Spider-Man PS4.
Oh no, 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 my friend, no, I
That,
Yes, I
disagree.
like it. I like it better. I like it.
I I can
I like it
see
better.
I
I'm
can
sorry,
see
y'all. I'm
just a little
sorry. It's
bit.
not because I'm not saying it because he black and I'm black. It's not that.
No, no, no. Because I see a little bit because I
Say
do the bioelectricity powers do
I really
bring
like
something a little bit
the
different,
opening of the game. Oh,
and the web swinging is a little bit better. The web swinging is a little bit better than in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 does feel stiff sometimes, but in Miles it does feel more fluent. But as an overall story, no.
swinging in.
We can get it.
Yeah.
I disagree with that one, but okay. Oh man, but
Um.
yeah, yeah, we have pretty similar answers.
You can follow me at the Tales of Fable on both Instagram and Twitter. Malik, where can people do at?
Malik 90. I mean Malik dot Reynolds 90 on IG, and you can follow me on also on DTH Gaming. I'm gonna get Jedi Savior, and we gonna get it popping.
All right, so thanks for listening to us, guys. Don't forget to click the link tree in the description. Um, as for me, I don't. I'm on social media, but I don't really post anything, so there's really no point in following me. But you might catch me every now and then on D2H Gaming as well, playing any bunch of the indie games that I have. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you.
And remember, everybody, hugs, not drugs, and stay frosty.